Okay, and the bug is solved. If I run this now, so if I say run as Java application, the output is ATM, right? So this is how you need to use interface. So we'll say interface ATM, the same as class, but all by default all the methods in interface are public abstract. So we need to no need to write here public abstract. Again, even if you write public abstract, it will not give you any error. But it is better to not write there. So we'll simply say void ATM, and then if you want to implement it, so you have to say implements ATM, and then we can write it. We can define that method, which is ATM here. If you fail to define this method ATM, your class will become abstract. Simple. Let's say will it work with two interfaces? So we'll say it interface debit. No method, no brackets here. Interface debit, and in this we have a void debit. And can I say implements ATM comma debit? And yes, you can. You can say ATM comma debit. Now you can see there is an error. The error is, since we are implementing debit, we need to define the method called as public void debit, and we'll say system.out.println, and somewhere here we'll say debit. I will use capitals. Okay, so we'll say debit. Now you can see we are unfortunately in this earlier class we have used a debit class. Okay, no issue, we'll remove this. From the last example, since we are working with the same package, it will give you an error. So let me comment this part again, because since I want to use this later. Okay, so come back to this. If we say save, you can see error is gone, is because I have removed that debit from that class. Let me save it, this one also. Okay, now so you can say implements ATM comma debit. So we can use both the classes here, about the interfaces here. So that means you can achieve multiple inheritance using interface in Java. But that's not the only reason we use interface. There are lots of applications of interface. This is one of the reason we use interface. So let me run this. Since I'm only calling, you can see I'm only calling ATM, so it will call only ATM. So we'll say run as Java application, and it's working, right? Now what we'll do is we'll go back to our previous application, and here we'll try to implement that the concept of interface, where you can have different interface, and all these interfaces will be implemented by your card class. But that we'll do in the next part.